What's going on, y'all? So, yeah, I know I created a new channel, coming back strong. I know about the censorship. I know what they on. But look, this empowers me to go harder and speak the truth. Because we got to be light in darkness, man. We have to understand that these people are deceivers. Do we understand what a deceiver's goal is? Is to convince you that you're not being deceived, to convince you of a false narrative so that you won't actually reveal their hidden agenda. See, this has been a long time in the making of indoctrination, of propaganda, of media controlled dispersal of information, and what doctrine is valid and what doctrine is not. This has all been part of the plan. And see, I tell y'all, it all comes back from trying to remove the biblical worldview from the world. The only worldview that gives us accountability to our Creator, which holds everyone to the same high standard. There is no government is higher than man or nothing like that. It's everyone is held to under the same standard of a sovereign, holy God. This is how we attribute morality, meaning, purpose, or anything out of life. See, they stripped the identity that we were created in the image, which means we were made with a reflection of the law of our Creator, of the law of the biblical true God, the Most High, which actually gives us meaning for the evils that we encounter in this life. We all had an encounter with evil, and we know it's evil because it's not how we would want to be treated. We've all had that encounter, but the world wants you to believe that you should tolerate everything, that nothing is wrong. It's just their preference, their opinion. Yet we all want our complaints to be validated. We all want people to treat us and value us as they want to be valued themselves. But see, what the world is telling you, that cannot exist in an atheistic secular worldview. Because what it is that whoever controls the flow of money, whoever has the influence and control of information through indoctrinations, through institutions, etc., controls the narrative. And this is what these people are doing. And they're trying to do this under the guise of that they're privy to secret knowledge, but it is not secret knowledge. It's simply a lie. You see, the issue is once you propagate a lie, you set in motion a series of lies to which you can put people on an endless journey of trying to unravel something that doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. Let me explain something to you. See, people are conflating expertise with something technical that man created. Like, let's talk about computers, right? We understand computer is an invention of man. So, being an invention of man understands how it works. Man created it, even though computers are very limited and they're very, what we put in them, it just gives us an output based on input, right? Zeros and ones, and just how we propagate a language, a technical language. Now that takes technical expertise because God gave man a mind, though we chose it to do against his will to create these technologies, which actually are trying to strip us away from our humanity or identity in God biblically. But you see, the human body was not created by man, so there is no expertise on it, as they would like to have us to believe that they understand this human body that is beyond understanding. They propagate a lot of false narratives and lies and misinformation and disinformation about how they want you to think about how your body works, as if our Creator biblically didn't give us a way to figure out how to live. He gave us tree-bearing herbs and fruits to eat. And we understand that that's how we were designed, to eat unprocessed, untouched, unpoisoned foods. That is the design of our Creator. We didn't need any institution or any system to teach us that. That's just how creation itself was logically made, and we were designed to fit within that paradigm, that understanding, that system that God created. But see, what they have done is they have poisoned and destroyed all of our natural environment that was originally created for us to live self-sufficiently if we submitted our lives to God biblically, because then we would have an awareness of when we disobeyed his law, his commandments, and that would give us honesty about our deeds. We would have a unbiased standard of right and wrong, and we would all be accountable for what we do to know good and evil according to the biblical true God. Call him Yah, Most High, the biblical Jesus Christ, however you want to do that. But see, the world has taken us out of that identity and put us into this convoluted ball of confusion where it's not based on anything logical. It's just based on people who have influence to steal and force their authority position as a form of truth. Meaning that we understand that, long ago, bloodlines and families orchestrated to create systems of which they controlled the flow of information, of which they controlled who was selected into a position of authority, not based on right, not based on merit or anything like that, but just based on them being loyal to the agenda and loyal to their families. And see, this has given us a very distorted image of everything. And most of all, our health. We all should know that cellular theory and terrain theory explains our health. If we, based on the quality of what we put in our body and the quality of the environments that we live in, assuming we have a calm, mental, and peaceful spiritual state based on us being at peace with our Creator. Very easy. We all know that stress causes illness, because if you don't understand how your own blindness and your own wickedness can lead you astray, then you're going to be easily exploited and manipulated by whatever nefarious agenda people in authority have, because they did not acquire authority through obeying God biblically. No, they took it by force and violence. And we understand that people who take things by force and violence uphold things through force and violence, lies, deceptions, and misinformation and disinformation. And I had to speak this because people are acting like we should believe them, unknowing that their jobs are being held hostage. And I can't even say what I'm talking about, but you understand specifically these people who work in these certain fields, right? And they want us to believe that they know that they have the best knowledge for our health, even though we know they have to uphold a narrative for the sake of them losing their jobs. They're bribed, they're given incentives to lie and propagate false narratives to feed people into big pharma, and which inevitably feeds people to big government, because they use legislation under this guise of keeping people safe and keeping people secure to force or restrict our free will for a few simple-minded, fear-based people who actually function and live within fear and victimhood. Therefore, that naturally leads government to come in and think for them. So they just basically gave up critical thinking. They gave up all personal responsibility and somehow attribute a sense of morality to these authoritative governing bodies that were built on corruption, lies, force, and violence. There's no track record through all human history that any hierarchy, empire, government, or kingdom, or whatever, ever cared about the common man outside of their personal agendas and self-interest, which all have always led to making money, or what was considered money, and acquiring power to control people. That's it. Stop thinking that the government cares for you or that they have your best interests at heart. And there's so much I want to talk about, but I just had to drop this video. I'm getting back in the swing of it. This ain't gonna stop no show. So I always want y'all to let y'all know I'm back in it, stronger than ever. So thank y'all for coming through. Like, share, subscribe to this new channel. I guess in a week or so, my main channel will be up. Check out my Odyssey. I got videos on there that I'm gonna talk about later. Peace.